But one of the big things that we find in Revelation that then becomes something around which everything hinges in terms of movements and predictions is the millennium. So the millennium actually is referenced in Revelation 20, towards the end of the book, right? There are only 22 chapters. In Revelation 20, we read, the angel seized the dragon, that ancient serpent, who is the devil and Satan, and bound him for 1,000 years. During that time, the martyred saints come to life and reign with Christ 1,000 years. So when this 1,000 years happens, and is it already happened? Will it happen? Has been a great topic of debate through the centuries. And there are those who then understand it in different ways and movements that follow their understanding of the millennium. So it becomes a hinge upon which some movements turn, kind of the key piece of Revelation around which end times narratives turn and around which communities gather. So this is called millenarianism, when it might also be called chiliasm, from chilia, which is the Greek word for thousand, right, for the 1,000 years. So this focus on that millennium and the millennial reign then becomes millenarianism. So we have understanding of what is premillennial or premillenarian. So this is a very literal interpretation in which the millennium happens in the future, and we are currently waiting for that. And it is the second coming of Christ, and so therefore pre-Christ, we are in the time right now before the millennium. Then we have a different interpretation, which is post-millenarian, which is a symbolic interpretation, right? This is where we have a realized eschatology, so to speak. We're currently living in the millennium. This is the reign of Christ. This is after Christ has come, right? His first coming on earth inaugurated the millennium, and the life of the church is the 1,000 years, and now we're waiting for the second and final coming. So these are two different ways of understanding that 1,000-year piece. And there have been lots of examples of millenarianism. So here I have early and then medieval ages and modern. So early interpreters that were premillennial would be, for example, Justin Martyr or Irenaeus. These are church fathers that lived during the 2nd century. And then in medieval period, we have a whole host of these, but we have Joachim of Fiore being a key figure in understanding the millennium as something to be anticipated. And he understood this, and this becomes really important. You'll see in the graphic that I've provided you, this is his understanding drawn and illuminated of 3 different phases of salvation history. So first is the phase of the Father. You'll see that in Latin, pater. And in the middle, the phase of the Son, Filius, and then finally of the Holy Spirit, the Spiritus Sanctus, right? So you'll see those as the 3, what have come to be called dispensations of the 3 different ages. And so in his understanding, during his time, they were reaching the end of the era of the Son and waiting for that of the Holy Spirit, in which the millennium would be realized. So from his viewpoint, it was only going to be a couple more 100 years during his lifetime before that would be fulfilled. And so a lot of medieval interpreters understood it in that way. Then we have modern examples, primarily the ones I've drawn here are from the 19th century Adventist Millerites, the Plymouth Brethren, understanding things in a similar way to Joachim de Fiore and thinking about dispensations, right? Different phases of salvation history that we can mark out.